Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to be creating a little tier list for you all who are looking to get into Riftbound or who may be looking at the Houston Regionals that is coming up, which is the first major event in the United States. Now, just quickly to go over what my tiers mean, tier 1 is obviously the best decks in the format. Basically they don't care about anything else except for each other. Usually there's going to be about 1, 2, or 3. Tier 1.5, some people don't like having a tier 1.5 because it can get confusing. I think, however, it's very good for people to understand what it means. Tier 1.5 are basically good decks that have play and have good matchups into one of the tier 1s. So an example being, in my opinion, Set has a good matchup into Kaisa. Therefore, he is a tier 1.5. Spoiler. Now, I'm not going to get into how all these, different characters, line up their matchups into everyone. I'm not going to go into super crazy detail. I'm going to give you a quick summary, and then that's it. This is going to be a quick video. So to get started, tier 1 is going to be obviously Kaisa and Master Yi. Blue and red at this moment is probably the strongest color simply because of the value they create, especially with Kaisa being able to ignore a lot of the recycle costs. Falling Star... and the amount of removal that Kaisa has access to in her colors is just very strong, along with them running Darius and Kaisa to just draw cards and get free restands or unsuspends or, readies, whatever you want to call them. Master Yi, on the other hand, being able to play with Aurora, and in my opinion, orange and green is actually one of, if not the best color combo in the game. Green being the the counter color, and orange being the buff color, I think is a recipe for disaster later down the road. Now, I know we have another green and orange hero being Lee Sin. However, Lee Sin does not create the extensive amount of value that Master Yi does just by existing. Giving a flat +2 to whenever you're defending is an insane amount of value just for being there. You push a wielder of water onto a point, he's defending as a +6 by himself, which is absolutely insane. So those two are very self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Now, the next two tiers gets a little complicated, so I'm actually going to create the tier 3 first. I know this tier list is all over the place, but as we get closer to the middle and the less champions we have to go through, it'll make more sense. So tier 3 is actually going to be filled with Garen, Lux, Leona, Volibear, Yasuo, and I kind of want to place MF there, but I think I'm going to hold off just because of her colors. So all of these champions are here because they have no play into anything. They're either too slow, their legend doesn't give any value, or they need too much to get value out of, such as Garen needing 4 units on a point. That's insane. You're not going to hit that until at least minimum turn 3. Lux, you're required to spend expensive ass spells for very little reward. Leona's okay. Volibear having to play very expensive units just to get it's an okay ramp. There's cards in your deck that ramp you already, so you're already going to be Volibear is very weird. If he had some very quick some ways to have early aggression, which going into set 2 he might because of Rek'Sai and the other things he's going to have in red, as well as equipment, just being able to buff up things. And he also, same thing as the other one, his ability just does not create much value for you early compared to people like Master Yi, who is just +2 defending to anything. So now these two, tier 1.5 and tier 2, get a little wonky because most legends can be flip-flop between the two. So first I'm going to do tier 1.5, which is going to be Ahri, Annie, Set, Victor, and Teemo. Now these 5 units have certain good matchups into Kaisa and Master Yi. In my opinion, I think Set has the best win percentage against both of them. I also think that Victor does very well into Master Yi. However, he gets shit on by Kaisa. So and with the meta share being, 30 to 40% Kaisa every single tournament, you can't really take Victor and expect to do anything because you're just going to run into Kaisa, and just be killed in Swiss. So it's just very hard to do. Ari is very unique. She gives a lot of value, a lot of places. However, the value itself is not good enough. So whereas Master Yi is giving a +2 all the way around whenever you're defending alone, Ari gives, little minuses here and there. However, it's just not enough to deal with these, oh, I'm going to drop a Dead Bloom for free. What are you going to do about it? Oh, I already have that area, so I'm going to drop a Mountain Drake on it. Oops. Or I'm going to drop a Windflame Protector, give my Dead Bloom +8. Oh, you're still defending against a +4 or a 14 might unit, so. Annie's in very good colors, with red being basically the lightning bolt color, I like to call it. Just tons of instant damage removal, and purple being the bounce, such as Gust or what is that card called? Fight or Fright? I get it mixed up all the time. Purple is kind of like the bounce color, the move color, the move shit around color, in my opinion. So if I had to order, a Set would definitely be the best. And then Victor and Teemo would be right next to, and then Annie would be next. Annie is, I think, kind of a sleeper because she can operate on such little runes. And if you're running the Darius combo, not combo, but if you're just running Darius and Legionnaires, which you should be, you have a very strong killing power. However, things like Victor can also just kind of, swarm the board. Oh, you wipe my board, well, I'm just going to do it again. A lot of Victors nowadays, I say nowadays, but it's literally like this week, in the next coming weeks. They're running a lot of seals so that they can just get tons of value with their seals, since a lot of things you do in blue and yellow require recycling a rune. Yellow having 2 kill spells of just kill your unit, and each person kills a unit of themselves. Or just killing one of your recruits to draw 2 is very strong. So all of these, the first 3 can definitely stay in 1.5. Annie and Ari are going to be bouncing back and forth. They're both very good though. They both have play. The next 4 are just going straight into tier 2. No specific order. They're okay. They have play into tier 1.5 depending on color matchups. Personally, I think Set is actually weak to green because you can just, I'm going to counter your showstopper. Your entire play is dead, So that gives Lee Sin a kind of an ample opportunity to beat Set and things like that. Green is also the counter color, like I said before. So, against yellow and against Teemo, where they want to play hidden cards, or they want to, just cut. I forgot the name of the card already. The fucking hidden blade to kill your unit. No, you're not. I'm gonna counter it. So it's very good, or I'm gonna wind wall it. Things like that. I think Lee Sin is actually the best of these units, especially like a mid-rangey, running like Set, Set, Udyr, things like that. The other 3 just don't provide enough value for themselves. I think Darius could actually go into tier 3, depending on who you ask. His color combination is not great right now. They kind of don't mesh well together. However, that in the next set, that will change. Jinx is kind of like a glass cannon. You're the super, low to the ground aggro deck. Oh, there's a big thing on board. I'm going to drop Vi. Hopefully it's enough. Hopefully this Vi that has, I just recycled my entire trash for, doesn't get hidden bladed, or fried or flighted out. She kind of just runs out of gas very fast. I think she's okay for a starter deck though. MF is kind of, I feel like this is the worst version of Yi. Like, you play Aurora, you have like Gust and Fight or Flight, so it's kind of like, combat tricks, but also Dead Bloom to your face. A lot of the tier 2s are copies of the tier 1.5 and tier 1s with worse value. So, and I know I throw that word around a lot. Value, but this is what this game's about. Who can keep momentum, who can keep tempo, who can keep value up through the entire game. So this is going to be the tier list for Origins and Proving Grounds. Go ahead and check out the card reviews and card gallery for the next set, Spirit Forged. A lot of things are going to change. I think Kaisa is going to be knocked off her high horse, luckily. She's still going to be a very good hero, guys. Remember, these champions will most likely stay as good as they are now. They will only get better. Equipment will help all the tier 2s, equipment will help all the tier 1.5s. We have seen crazy value in green, orange, and red already. Those colors are going to be very, very good. Not to say that other colors are not. Kaisa will still be one of the best champions just because how much value she creates. So we just have more things to deal with her. You know, she won't be able to just knock our champions or knock our units off the field with, you know, -3. Like, oh, I have an equipment, you know, oh, I'm at a Trinity Force or Guardian Angel. So, you know, if you are struggling to pick up a deck and find something you enjoy, because of this power creep we have right now, just keeps going strong. You know, February 13th, I believe, is when Spirit Force come out. Take a look at the leaks, and I will catch you guys in the next video.